The thing is, in this generation, in this day and age, we cannot force things on anyone. So if we think we have complete control over our children, that's really not really true at all. They have a mind of their own and they are going to do what they're going to do. So from day one, I knew that I'm never going to force it on a child. And, I knew that I was not going to be that parent who doesn't have a great relationship with their child after their tennis or whatever is over. So I wanted her to choose what she wanted to do. And that's why we started this whole process much later than usual. Only at 13 did she decide that she wants to do this, to play competitive tennis at least. So I was glad that she at least chose to play a decent level of tennis and then go into college. So overall, I actually was not disappointed. I was actually quite happy because she at least chose tennis somewhere along the process. So whether it's pro tennis, whether it's college tennis, it's immaterial. The sport is such a great sport for me. It's given me so much. So I'm just glad that I was able to go through this journey with her. Definitely such a huge learning process this was, because everything's different now. What are the resources that are available to us? There are so many other things, nuances that are different now. Kids have so many other options to choose from. They have so many distractions. And with Sahana, especially, every child obviously has a different mindset. They have aptitude. They have certain things that are very special just only to them. And we need to, as a parent, we need to recognize what they're good at and what they have to improve on. And so because of that, it is just a phenomenal learning experience for me. Even as a coach, it was a learning experience because we have to also deal with teenage girl going through hormonal changes, all those kind of things. So it's impossible to say everyone has the answer to everything. So the thing that there's definitely highs, there are definitely lows in this whole thing, but it's really important to also have people tell you things like, for example, my brother was a huge part, and he was also reminding me many times through this process is to keep like just keep a very cool attitude towards everything, and it all works out towards the end. Because one of the biggest problems for us was because we only started actually training competitively for competitive tennis only when she was like 13, because that's when she decided that she wants to do this. So we had to accelerate everything, and we had to basically, the training schedule had to change pretty much overnight. So all those things were definite challenges. But on the flip side of it, Sahana also showed so much of discipline. She was there anytime I told her to do certain things. She was on top of it, and she was really cooperative. I remember this word that many people used to use in India. She cooperated really well through the whole training process. And I think that's what really helped us achieve the goals that she had set out to achieve. Oh my God. I think you hit the nail on the head, because I learned everything from him as to how to behave amazing as a parent, and learn how to not over push your child, and not over pressurize your child. The biggest lesson that I learned from my dad as a dad and as a coach together was the fact that, especially after a child loses a match, to never ever put them down, and to really not focus on the result of it, rather than why did they lose and what are the tennis things that we can do, like, technical things that we could fix, strategic things that we could fix. So those are the huge life lessons that I learned from my dad, and I had seen how my dad handled it, and that I was able to do it with Sahana. And I'm glad to say that we still have a great relationship. We don't fight as much at all. I mean, a mother and daughter, of course, we'll have arguments, but it's very minimal when it comes to tennis, because I just feel like we need to learn to have empathy first as a parent, as a coach as well, to learn to focus on the process and not really on the result. Oh my God, this is a very, very loaded question, because as a mom, how I do things, as a coach, all, very, very tricky situations and everything, because you also have to really understand your child and be on the same page with the child. But two of the main things that I would say is that's needed in today's world is empathy. Really understanding your child and be empathetic. And second thing is patience. Nothing happens overnight, and you have to be patient through the whole process. And those are the two biggest things that I would tell them. There's another thing, especially to parents in India, that I would say is also many of the parents that I met, some of them do have the knowledge. Some of them don't have the knowledge really, and they seem to be half-baked. And what ends up happening is they just, go towards their goal without having a plan in place and a process in place. So if if Sahana wanted to play golf, for example, I have to go to an expert and I have to basically consult with them and see, or I have to understand it and get the help of as many people as possible to understand what is the process and what it takes. And so I think that is something that the parents, I would caution some of the parents, saying that don't think that you know it all. When you don't know a particular subject, it's good to kind of get the help of people as much as possible and learn from those the experts in the field and stuff like that. So I think that's one of the reasons why I have started this consulting, is to help parents to be able to tell them things as it is. So the thing is, I feel like being a consultant allows me to be able to help people from all different scenarios that present itself as far as tennis is concerned. I've been director of a country club. I was really happy doing that when I did it, but now I don't feel the need that I want to do that at this point. I feel like also being a coach, I'm actually still open to being a coach to other players for short stints. I would be interested in coaching some of the pro players or some top juniors from time to time. So I'm not definitely not averse to that. But as a consultant, I think I can shed some light to so many different things. And I think that's also quite challenging, and it's something that I think it'll fit what I want to do currently. I really feel, especially many juniors, top juniors and some pro players, I feel like they can use a little bit of tweaking with their schedules, with their tennis game, with mental part of it. They just need tweaking at this point. And I know that for a fact. I've been there. I see things. I can within like a little bit of time, I'm able to judge what they need and what can help them. I feel like if they had my expertise tell them certain things, I'm hoping that it can change their careers, and I'm for the better. And I'm hoping that these kind of small advice that I am able to give them can help in a huge way. So that's one of the reasons why I feel like I can definitely make a positive impact. And I'll give you a small scenario. I can tell you, like, for example, when I'm taking a look at one of the top juniors and she is really struggling with, say, holding her serve. So the way how I would fix it is I would try to work on her first serve percentage and ask her to go for big serves once every 2-3 serves, instead of going big and then hitting a second serve and getting getting the opponents, and they are hitting winners on her second serve all the time, and she's not able to hold. So just small things, whether it's technical, or if a child needs to is playing too many tournaments, and I'm saying, you know what, you have to be very aware of what kind of schedule you need to have, and I can help you with putting you together a much better tournament and a training schedule for you, and an off season as well. So those kind of things, I feel like it can make a huge difference. And as a woman also, I know certain things that girls go through that I I know, and I can help them with. So I think it's a win-win situation. I think a lot more people in about 25 years ago, everybody chose the college route way more than they do in today's day and age, I feel, because what they have found is many of the players end up going kind of fading out, or even getting burnt out after college tennis. But it has been done before. We've seen Somdev, we've seen Harsh, we've seen many Jeevan. We've seen many players who have gone pro after the college circuit. I think it all depends on the college that they go to, the kind of training they get. It also depends on how they've been able to manage their studies while they're there. So there are so many factors in this whole process that each case is very, very different. Number one thing that they have to think about is the coach. The relationship with the coach is very, very important, because they need to kind of course, it's very, very hard because they live in India, and they'll have some phone conversations, and you can't really get to know the coach that much. But there are ways to try and find out how what the coach's ideals are, and what you want to achieve from that college tennis process. So you say you're looking to play, pro tennis right after. As a coach or as a parent right now, what I would want to really think about as a coach is if he is interested or she's interested in the progress of my child. Are they going to work on getting them better, or is it just about winning matches? So there are so many factors to think about, but one of the main things would be the coach, what kind of thought process he has. Of course, the facilities make a difference. Your teammates also, is the college good enough and going to keep pushing her? If the college is way too good, the teammates are way better than your child, that's also not a good scenario. If they're really worse, that's also not a good scenario. Just, you got to remember that you have to have it at almost the same level as a child, or a little higher, so that they can keep pushing each other, and it could be a good, growing environment. So these are some of the things that I can think of, which will help a player, progress in those 4 years, so that they are getting ready for the pro circuit afterwards. The thing to consider is how good is your training currently is in the scenario. Will this help you get to the pro circuit? Now, for sure, the facilities are going to be much better in the US. There's no two ways about it. The facilities are phenomenal. Some of the Division 2 schools that I've seen, Division 1, the facilities are tremendous. But we also have to just keep in mind what we have going on right now. Sometimes there are some rare occasions where the scenario that you have going on in India may not be that bad, in terms of, the coach is very sincere, and you have a good group of people that you're practicing with, and the scenario is very good, and your parents you're in a good situation. I don't know. I cannot say it should be a default option for every player to go and come to the US, because there are some universities here in the US. They may have these very good facilities, but they can be in the middle of nowhere, and you may not have friends, and the child may not be happy there. So I can't just say, everybody has to go and you can just blindly go and follow. No, I do not suggest that at all. You have to do some research. You have to see where to go and whether that is the best school for you to make progress and to get you in the situation where you want to go. So, sequel to Moonballer is definitely going to be a parenting, a tennis player's kind of manual, but I'm in the process of finalizing most of these things. It might be a blog, it might actually be a book. I'm not sure yet. So it's still in the process. I think it'll take me another year to get it set up, but it is definitely going to happen. I do like to do different things, but grace, God's grace, I'm able to do so far whatever I want to do. There's still a lot to be done, but at the moment my focus is on trying to do this tennisconsulting.com.